Hello everyone, welcome to HW News. The vaccine hesitancy is still prevalent in many parts of the country. Recently, in a bizarre incident in UP, villagers jumped in river when medical staff arrived in the village to vaccinate the people. On the other hand, we see lapses on the part of the administration as well. In one such incident, around 20 villagers in Uttar Pradesh's Siddharthnagar district were given two different doses of vaccines. While they were given first dose of Covishield vaccine, for the second dose, they were given Covaxin at a government hospital. The authorities call it an oversight. However, it doesn't appear to have led to an adverse health effect in those who received the vaccine. The central government has reacted to this incident. Dr. V.K. Paul, member of health at Niti Aayog, said on Thursday that there should be no cause of concern and added that any adverse event is unlikely. However, he did add that more scrutiny was required in the case. In fact, many countries around the world are exploring the possibility of the vaccine mixmatch, especially at a time when many countries, including India, are facing vaccine shortage. This could be a game changer. But is vaccine cocktail safe? Are there any studies on it? What is the risk factor? We will discuss all of this with our guest today. Joining me is an expert doctor from UK, Dr. Sangram Patil. Now, interestingly, the United Kingdom has already started a study on vaccine mixmatch, so we will also talk to him about that. So welcome, sir. Welcome again to HW News. My first question to you is, as we were discussing about the possibility of mixing two different doses of vaccines. So is it really safe for the beneficiaries who are getting the vaccine doses to get vaccine doses which are manufactured by two different companies?
Aarti, first of all, we have to understand two things. Giving these vaccines without any supervision or with intention may not achieve what we are trying to achieve. First, and the second part is about safety. The safety is not a major issue. That has been proved from international trials. That the initial results of two trials, one of them was conducted in UK, and second is being conducted in Spain and America. So two trials have shown that two different brands of vaccine doses given one after the other, which is called as heterologous prime boost technique. That is not a major concern. It is not dangerous, but there is slightly increased risk, about 20% increased risk of side effects. These side effects are the common milder ones and they are temporary side effects. The more important thing than this is about efficiency. We don't know whether mixing the two available vaccines in India is going to be efficient. So that study needs to be done, and then only with intention it should be offered.
Sir, my next question is about the technique with which the vaccine is produced. Like we already know that Covishield is manufactured, it has been developed with a spike protein technology, and we have seen Covishield is developed with the inactivated virus. So mixing these two different vaccine doses, will it be really safe for people? And not only for this one, there are also mRNA vaccines available in the market. So mixing these vaccines combination, how will it play out?
So Aarti, this technology of heterologous prime boost technique is not new. This is not the first time we are trying this. It was tried in HIV infections. Of course, we haven't got good efficient vaccine for HIV. And it was also tried in Ebola, where first dose and the second dose were given from the vaccines with different mechanism of action. So all the vaccines which have been approved for COVID, like inactivated virus, which is Covaxin, which is an old technique. Then we have virus vector, inactivated vector, which carries the viral gene, which is like Covishield, Sputnik, or Johnson & Johnson. There are mRNA vaccines or protein vaccines like Novavax. All these work differently. They stimulate the immunity. But good thing is that if one vaccine stimulates immunity by one technique and other then uses some other mechanism, they can have more widespread stimulation of the immunity. So which will actually cover more variants, virus variants, and it can give better protection. So that is, initial trials from UK and from Spain, they show that it is not a dangerous, but it is expected from scientific logic that they can be actually beneficial. But my point again is that we should not do this haphazardly. There should be an established evidence that Covaxin followed by Covishield is safe and it gives better protection or good protection or vice versa. It should be done in a controlled, intended manner and not because the system is committing mistake or there is no other option left.
As you rightly said, that UK is already doing this kind of experiment, and it is, doing some kind of a mixed match between the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine and the Pfizer vaccine. America has already allowed Pfizer and Moderna vaccine combination. Could you tell us a little bit about what is happening in that particular trial in UK?
So UK Oxford University is trialing, and they are going to look at these patients in 3 stages. So first stage is over and the results are published in Lancet medical journal. So first stage is about reaction, side effects. It is called reactogenicity. And they have reported that people who get mix and match vaccine doses, they get more side effects. But all the side effects are mild and temporary. So there's 20% increased risk of side effects. And the side effects are more common in males and younger males. That's what their observation is. Now, second stage they are observing, and the results will be out probably in June, is about immunogenicity. So how much immunity is actually induced, the antibodies and cells and everything. So that will be available, and they are expecting that second different heterologous dose might induce more immunity. The very fact that they are causing more side effect means they are inducing more immunity, stronger immunity. So that's the second stage. And third stage will be to actually see whether this increased immunity actually protects people on ground. So they'll be following 2 groups to see whether the vaccine, the mixed match group is actually protected better than the homologous group. So that trial is COMCO trial of Oxford University, and there is a Combivax trial from Spanish Madrid Institute. They are doing it in Madrid and in New York, and they have done more than 600 people, and there is no report of any disastrous side effect from this trial. So initial kind of findings are encouraging, and with this situation now, vaccine shortages and people moving from one place to other, and the fact that Covishield has got this blood clotting issues, though it's very rare, 1 in a million, and especially it's common in young females. So the countries like France, Sweden, Germany, these European countries and Britain also have advised their youngsters to go for non-Oxford vaccine. So if there is alternative available, go for it. And if people have taken one Oxford vaccine first shot, they are advised to take alternative vaccine as a second shot. So it's already being done in Europe. So they are actually doing it in a non-trial scenario in public. But this again, it's a well-controlled, people are followed very well and they are well informed, and that's how it should happen. So this is the status. And now just to update on that, there is another trial which is starting in June in UK under Oxford University supervision. It is a COM-Boost trial. So they are going to offer third dose of vaccine to people who had their first dose in December and January. So this is almost 6 months now, and their third dose will be offered from any of the 5 to 6 available vaccines. So that will show us how mixing and matching, mixed match of vaccine will perform, whether it will protect better or it will give worse results than the homologous scheduling.
In fact, if we go for mix and match of vaccines, then is there any difference between the gaps between the vaccine doses? Because we have seen for Oxford AstraZeneca, it has been said that 12 to 18 weeks of gap is advisable. And for Covaxin, it is 28 days gap, 4 weeks gap. So if at all there is a mixed match, what will be the gap between the vaccine doses?
So, we know about 12 weeks gap for Covishield, which is Oxford. 16-18 weeks just looks like a convenience decision by Indian government because they haven't got vaccines. So there's no evidence that 16 weeks wait will be more beneficial, but certainly 12 weeks is more beneficial than just waiting for 3 to 4 weeks for Covishield, and it applies to other vaccines as well. Now with this mixing vaccines, there is no particular trial which has looked into different scheduling. The trial which I mentioned, Comco trial, has done two schedules. One is for 4 weeks and the other is for 12 weeks. But their initial results are only about side effects. The actual immunogenicity data will be published in June. So we don't know which schedule is working better with mix and match type of schedule. So we don't know the answer yet.
Even with countries like UK, it is not a widespread, process yet where they are giving people the combination and mixed match of vaccines. What do you think in future, if at all the vaccine scarcity continues in country like India and there are other smaller countries who have not yet got vaccines, will this be a commonplace practice there?
Yes, I think slowly the world will move towards mixed match. That is, the technical term, medical term for it is heterologous prime boost technique. Because of the vaccine scarcity, and if the current trials which are being conducted, if they come up with results that it induces more immunity and it is better protective, and there are few more advantages to that. Apart from flexibility and covering your major population in the event of scarcity of vaccine, it can tackle the problem of variants. Various mutant variants which are coming up now. If you are mixing the vaccines from different brands, this mixing might be able to tackle variants in a better way because it is inducing more widespread immunity. So it is a helpful thing. And if these trials continue to show good results, then mix and match will be the way forward because there is no enough vaccine. If you get first dose from Oxford vaccine, there is no guarantee that Oxford vaccine will be available in your place. Or if you're traveling abroad, say from India, someone goes to Middle East and they may not get the same vaccine. So mix and match second dose will be the way forward.
So my last question is not directly related to the mixed match of vaccines, but more of it is related to the vaccine hesitancy in India, which is still prevalent in many parts. People are going for many different kind of homegrown medicines. They call it, some call it quacks. So people are also approaching these kinds of alternate medicines instead of going for vaccination. What will be your advice for these people who are anti-vaxxers, as they are called, or they are hesitant to get vaccines?
Anti-vaxxers are there everywhere. And in India, there are people who are anti-science. You can see various babas and gurus and these advocates of cow dung and cow urine, or read this, do this, yagya, home, havan. So these guys are just anti-science and it doesn't help humanity. A lot of people just die of ignorance. So my appeal to these people will be, this is actually government's job to stop all this kind of nonsense anti-science propaganda. And once the government tackles them and gives proper information to the people, then that will lead to more acceptance. But if the government itself is doing politics of vaccines and not doing anything about these gurus and babas, then people are left in confused state. And that is a good ground for people to make money, to make name, and to establish themselves in public, which is kind of anxious, scared. And that is what is happening. So right information needs to be delivered to the people. Right communication needs to be done. And of course, along with that, we have to make necessary things available, make vaccines available on time. Then people will keep track. Otherwise, they will just look for these alternative solutions which are non-evidence based. There's no evidence for them.
Thank you. Thank you so much, doctor. Thank you so much for this information. I hope we will move forward and also have this trial in India where we will have some trials on what is the efficacy that is being resulted from the mixed batch of Covaxin and Covishield trial. And hopefully this will somehow solve India's vaccine problem. Thank you so much, doctor.
Hope so. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Hello everyone. HW News English is 2 years old now. When we started this venture, we promised ourselves one thing, that news should remain free, because right to know is the right of every Indian. But to keep news free for everyone, we need support from some of you. And thus we have rolled out membership on our YouTube channel HW News English. But mind you, the membership is completely voluntary. The programs that we were doing earlier, that we are doing now, will continue to remain free. First level is a basic level. Here, you can be our supporter by paying Rs 199 per month. This membership gives you certain perks and benefits. The perks include unique badges in front of your name, a live show from Mr. Sujit Nair and from Mr. Akhilesh Bhargava per month for our members. You can also vote in some exclusive members-only polls. Now the second level is Super Supporter. Here you can be our Super Supporter by paying Rs 3,999 per month. This membership will include every perk that comes with basic level. Additionally, our Super Supporters can be a part of a WhatsApp group where we can have discussions and suggestions on various topics. The second perk includes a gift pack with our merchandise. And the third perk is a Google Meet with Mr. Sujit Nair, where you can join the meet and ask your questions to Mr. Nair face to face. Lastly, if you like, we would give a shout out to our super supporters in our programs. So, hope to see you soon with our badges.